So I'm going to talk to you about the Megadeals Workshop. Now the workshop is built on 3 key principles. The first one is live experiences. So we go through the experiences that we've been through when orchestrating large B2B deals, where we've won, where we've failed, and what we've learned. This is inspiring and it helps delegates relate to how it works. Second is the theory and the principles behind Megadeals and what we depicted from the 60 plus megadealers that we interviewed for the research and the book. And third is one of the most important pieces, are pragmatic exercises, where delegates bring in a live deal case that they're working on and apply what we teach on that case. So let me now walk you through the structure of the workshop. The workshop is 4 half days. But before that, there is preparation. So the delegates pick an account that's either new, so they need to land, or that they need to expand, so grow, cross-sell, upsell, or a vertical or an industry that they're focused on. And for this account, they need to really understand. They read through the annual report and other types of documents that gives them a good feel for this account, the strategic initiatives, etc., etc. They will also receive some content from our side to watch before they walk into the first workshop. Now the workshop, as I said, is 4 half days. Each half day is 3 hours, and there is 2 weeks, tend to be 1 to 2 weeks between each workshop. In the first workshop, the first 3 hours, we go through the 5 cornerstones. This is the DNA of Megadeals. When we researched over 60 high-performing megadealers across multiple companies across the globe, we depicted what it is that separated them as rainmakers from the normal crowd. And we walk through that we call the 5 cornerstones. And as we go through the 5 cornerstones, we also do exercises where delegates apply what we're going through in the workshop on the deal or account that they've picked. Then, between the first and the second workshop, they also get on-the-job tasks. So then in the second workshop, after delegates have presented their exercises, we move into the next subject. And that is the DNA of Megadeals, which is the messaging architecture. And in this second workshop, we work through the fundamental messaging of your account, your client, or your vertical. As we work through the fundamental messaging, delegates are applying that messaging on their chosen account. And after the workshop, they receive a task to continue to build out that messaging for that specific deal. So when they come into the third workshop, the first part of that, they present the fundamental messaging of their chosen deal, and we discuss and we go through that. So now we're in the third workshop. And in the third workshop, we go through the 2 other parts of the messaging architecture, which is deal closing and orientational messaging. And as previously, as we go through this, delegates start to do exercises on their chosen deals around the deal closing and the orientational messaging. They then receive exercises to complete between the third and the fourth workshop. So then we come into the fourth workshop, and after the delegates have presented the tasks from the third workshop, we kick into the final bend, the final workshop. And here we look at pulling it all together. So now that I've got the messaging, how do I turn that into content? What type of distribution tactics do I need to use to distribute that content into the client ecosystem? And how do I put it all together and orchestrate it? So delegates develop a kind of a mini orchestration plan to understand how this orchestration gets pulled together. As you've probably worked out by now, this workshop is very pragmatic, hands-on, and application-based. And this is really, really key because you may already know that 95% of your daily cognitive activity comes from the subconscious mind, which means that 95% of what we do day to day is an automated set of habits and behaviors. So if you just go to a training or you go to a seminar and you just listen and take it in and don't apply, you forget most of it within the next 2 weeks. It's on-the-job application that drives a big chunk of your learning. So to help and support you to continue to apply this after the workshop, you get with you a number of things. So the first thing you get, of course, are the booklets and the materials that we go through in every workshop. And of course, the exercises that you've completed, you take with you. So the second thing you get is recordings from these workshops. And these are your assets to keep for either people who will not be able to join because they were either sick or had a meeting, or it's a great asset also for onboarding new people that get into how the discipline works for you and your company. What are the key learnings? What do you take away from this workshop? Well, there will be a number of principles and behaviors and competencies that your team and teams can start to apply straight away. So understanding and aligning to key initiatives and how to qualify and disqualify, identifying and nurturing Trojan horses, and building in risk mitigation into your sales process. These are some of the behaviors that your teams will be able to do straight away after the workshop. Low-hanging fruit. Another thing that the workshops generate is a high level of inspiration. So we're really proud to have an average score of 9.5 out of 10 for these workshops. So delegates get inspired and get engaged around the discipline and how to work around orchestrating large complex deals. Where your teams may need more help and will most probably need more support that we observe with many of our clients is going from where we've just talked about, so bringing on some of these behaviors and competencies to industrializing your customer-facing activities towards Megadeals and enterprise. We've observed that this takes more time and more support and more help to get there. So hopefully this has given you a good overview of the Megadeals Workshop. We would love to run it with you and your teams. Thank you.